Here we are, Frank 151 with Alex Corcoran and
Valerie Della Rosa.
we're here at 169 Bar about to interview one of the raddest punk bands that's come out of New York in a very, very long time. They're called Rebelmatic.
Don't stop, get up. Don't stop, get up. I roll the streets of blood and gold. Don't stop, get up. I left my soul out in the cold. Don't stop, get up.
We're New York kids. We're grown, we're adults, but we're New York kids. A lot of us, our mind is like a mixtape. So you might listen to salsa, merengue, hip hop, metal, punk, hardcore, funk, jazz, everything, because it reggae, because we're the community you're around, and certain stuff speaks to you. The rebelliousness in a Peter Tosh song is no different than the rebelliousness in a Minor Threat song or a Public Enemy song. It's the same thing. And when you're young, that becomes like kind of like your soundtrack. You know what I mean?
It makes me think of a lyric from Pony, which is pre-gentrified. You know, I'm a pre-gentrified New Yorker, and you know that I think that's all three of you here. So so tell me what does that mean?
That's the fabric of the city before it became gentrified. That's coming to the city, coming to the village with $5 in your pocket and having an adventure. I never wanted to be called a based band. I'm like, no, we're a New York City band. Because it's like, oh, you're Bubba Bass. I'm like, we didn't move here for a summer and claiming something. We're here. We're lifers, baby. When you leave, we still here. I moved to New Jersey next year. I'm still a New Yorker for life. Doesn't matter where I live anymore in my life. I'm a New Yorker. New York City. City, baby. We're city. We're from the city, not upstate. No disrespect to anybody. No disrespect. But we're city kids. We're kids that had to go through certain things and figure it out when it was harder, when there was no internet, when you only had a pager and quarters to call your friend. I'm on West Wall Street.
This is taking our influences of being, brothers from New York City that are into metal and punk and hardcore and hip hop and giving it our own twist. So yeah, so something like Pony does, in fact, symbolize, exactly what we are. We are pre-gentrified New York. We are the sound of pre-gentrified New York. We're the sound of the village before they got rid of all the record stores. We're the sound of Fordham Road before they got rid of Beach Street. We're the sound of downtown Brooklyn before they got rid of Beach Street. We're the yeah, exactly.
That's to me is pre-gentrified New York. Choosing your adventure. And like when money wasn't an issue, granted we were younger, but it's like to be who you are when it's not even appreciated, to go against the grain of your neighborhood. When Vans wearing Vans, you didn't wear Vans unless you skated or you were part of a certain culture. When you didn't do certain things, when you didn't wear stuff unless you were involved with it, you couldn't just dress it up because people would know. You couldn't buy it. You couldn't buy it, and it wasn't cool. You made it cool. You and your friends made it cool. It wasn't cool. You had to be who you were, and you paid those dues to be who you are. So that's, to me, being pre-gentrified in New York. That's our sound. It sounds like James Brown in a mosh pit, but our sound is stemmed in pre-gentrified New York.
So what was the influence that you guys had? Like, I know punk rock was kind of hard to come around during the 80s, 90s.
The band that changed it all for me was Bad Brains. Seeing them live and seeing like HR as a 16, 15-year-old kid, like, oh shit, that's me. You know what I mean? That's me. I see the representation.
I remember you were saying the last time we talked that you missed being live, and then to hear you talk about how the music is really about being live and being there and feeling it. And so just tell me about kind of the evolution of the pop-up shows happening and why those are so important.
I mean, one of the things about us is that our live shows really. I mean, it seems like. I mean, I saw a quote somewhere where someone said, "I don't know whether to twerk or or slam dance," and the band, and yeah. But these pop up shows are important because we have to still continue our live muscle. We still got to continue, bringing it to the people live, which is the best way to always see Rebelmatic completely.
I remember, like, especially that night when you guys was putting that video together. Never seen so many kids so excited, so like energetic, and so like just what the hell? What am I listening to? I'm in it, and they were in it, and that was like one of the most awesome times, like at Max Fish, and one of my awesome skate nights, like to have you guys there and like blow these kids' minds.
It means a lot to us, you know what I mean? For somewhere for people could be like, yo, I'm gonna come see you perform. People who know us, people who don't know us, it's just like I just popped up and just walked in and seen this band playing, well, whether it's Alex Skate Night or whatever. They seen us. I never heard about that band kicks ass.
I mean, it's something that is just so within us. I get so ingrained as like we, and for someone to say, "Oh wow, I never even heard of you guys," or "I don't even listen to something like this," and you guys are amazing. Like we get that a lot too. I mean, we get a lot of converters. We got we get a lot of people who don't even listen to punk or hardcore or metal, and they're into what we're doing.
We don't take it for granted. Like every time we play, we give it everything. 20 people, 200 people, 1,000, doesn't matter. Because whether people are paying to see us or they're taking their time out of their life to invest to see us. So we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to them.
You mentioned already your new album out, Ghost in the Shadows, and it was recorded during the pandemic. Did it before the pandemic? Okay, everything's before. Okay.
It may seem like the album was recorded during the pandemic, but that's because I think musically we always have some kind of prophecy when we're writing. Like the way Creature writes with his lyrics is like he writes about things without even knowing that something's going to happen exactly like that. So, and then the music just kind of follows right along with it. The guitar riffs, the bass, and the drums.
The record's been recorded a year before the pandemic, all the songs, everything. So people might listen to it and be like, oh, they made it because of what we're talking about. But that's just how we're wired. Lyrically, that's how I'm wired. I write like that regardless. So I didn't need like the things that was going on to be inspired by.
So to be frank, as Rebelmatic, what does it mean to be frank?
If you like it, ride with us.
To be frank with Rebelmatic, unadulterated. Simple, unadulterated, nothing more. Candid, bang, right there. There's nothing more to say. Candid and unadulterated. We don't have to be extra. We don't have to put all the spices on it. It's there, bang, right there. We got a new album that we're working on some more stuff. We're working on more stuff.
Never tell time your sins. You say what I say.